Hello and welcome everyone. I am Sumi hosting my first ever podcast episode, and today I will be sharing my ideas about human centered design thinking and why all managers should know about it. So, what is human centered design thinking? The term human centered design thinking is defined as a creative process to problem solving that begins with the individuals you are designing for and finishes with the innovative ideas that are customized to fit their needs. It is related to creating a deep understanding of the people you are designing for, producing lots of ideas, sharing what you have created with the people you are designing, and eventually getting your creative new concept out of the world. Bill Mogris, one of the co-founder at IDEO, was known to be first ever person to apply human-centered design thinking approach to design objects and involving technologies. He was the British designer who developed laptop, having background in interaction enterprise. Human-centered design thinking can also be described as focusing on individuals or consumers and their needs rather than on complex technical circumstances. The method is widely implemented by various sectors because it is perceived to be a strategic advantage in competitive markets. Businesses are now focused on their customer service as much as they are concentrating on producing the items. Now let us have a quick overview on the phases of human-centered design thinking tool. Basically, the human-centered design thinking has three phases: inspiration phase, ideation phase, and implementation phase. In the inspiration phase, one can directly get to know about the people for whom the design is made and understand the need of people you are engaged in understanding. The ideation phase talks about identification of the opportunities for design and select the best solution. The final implementation phase is about solution design is being practiced in the real life and finally brought in the market. What principles do human-centered design thinking is important for every one of us to know? So here are some of the principles of human-centered design thinking defined by some scholars, which helps to understand the importance for every managers in any organizations to be aware of. They are as human-centered design focuses on the people. It is very important to know the actual reason for the product or services the company is offering to the people. The managers in this process starts thinking about who the goods or services are meant for. This helps the company to find their target consumers. Every organization should think that the services or product is meant for problem solving of the people. The human-centered design method of designing thinking focuses on the reason for building of a product, the need of the people. Manager of this era should understand the problem of people and focus on solving the problem. Identification of the right problem. It is said by some scholars that all the problems are not worth solving. According to Don Norman, problems can be fundamental or problems that cause the symptoms. Managers should be aware of the major problems, which are the origin cause of the problems, and should attempt solving them first. Solving a root cause may lead to solve other problems automatically. Human-centered design principle instructs to conduct research to find the right problems that help managers and the team to save time and energy dealing to find solution for every problems. Thinking everything as a system. This principle of human-centered design approach focuses on having a bigger picture about the existence of a product, the final outcome about the use of the available product. It clarifies the understanding about what do the organizations want, the users want to attain from the products offered by them. It should ensure that the consumers should provide positive user experience at all points of touch, both interactive and physical. The last principle, conduct tests for the design assessments. The time spent on ideating and prototyping the design tool is not enough until and unless the design solution is tested on the actual users. The managers should be aware of the benefit of testing the design solution with the real people, as it helps them to achieve the feedback that can lead in improvements in the design if any required. According to the Forrester study conducted by IBM, design thinking has helped the planning and implementation of project teams to increase by 2 times, and more than 80% of design-based company executives have indicated that their teams are more unified and focused. The study has introduced some of the techniques that helps managers to change and improve the virtual workplace with human-centered design. Empathize and listen to the employee's speech. It is about listening to the insights of individuals and plan a structure and method to actually apply those insights to create some creative ideas. For example, when the leaders of the big non-profit medical organizations planned to update their intranet, they were not simply placing modern technologies on their employees, but they started by surveying workers to better identify the problems they were facing. They also undertook detailed interviews and seminars with a diverse cross-section of workers to build 4 user individuals. 1. Illustrating the interest, attitudes, relationship, and the last one, desires and priorities of traditional intranet personnel. The third is continuous collaboration and model designing. For any organization, success does not only mean to get things done, but the roles and personalities of employees, project objectives, and the feedback matters more. Human-centered design thinking is more of two-way collaborative process than top-bottom or one-off approach. It is more towards getting the experiences of different stakeholders, which helps manager or organization to develop a model which in return supports employee to give their feedback. The feedback the employees provide are in real time, and they are focused towards the stakeholders' experience about the product design, marketing tactics, or leaders of the firm. The last one, capture and work on the feedback from the consumer's suggestions through deployment. A human-centered design strategy means being dedicated to gathering and integrating input from consumers during the workplace inception and existence. Human-centered design gives more importance to the planning and implementation of product or service design, which is based on the feedback collected from the consumers. Every manager should know that human-centered design approach is useful for every large or small companies, as it is not expensive and also saves time. Now, as the dynamics of the workforce change, the workers are likely to expect more commitment, more intent, and more personalization at the workplace. And it is the manager who should be aware that the employee has every right to ask for this. The secret to a successful workforce is not the IT team doing a new initiative or doing fast changes on the intranet. Instead, the human-centered design approach that places workers' perspective at the center is the perfect way for companies to keep pace in a changing marketplace. All of these principles can help managers to understand the importance of human-centered design thinking for the success of their day-to-day operations and success of their business. So everyone, this was all I wanted to share about today's topic, human-centered design thinking. Thank you all for listening to me. Have a great time, everyone.